Sorry, I was sending out some messages and all that. Got my headset on, and good morning. So, as it says, we're just gonna do some more painting, you know. Alright, so alright, I cannot hear my music, that's good. Just want to make sure. Alright, so I grabbed some more paints. So today we are going to be doing some teeth. We're going to be doing their backs, their weapons. So it's going to be cool. And better yet, I put together the little stand holder I was talking about the other day. So this is some tack, paint bottle taped up so y'all can't see my information on it. And what's great about this one is it locks. And it takes some effort to turn this way, except when you push it up with your thumb here, you can freely just rotate it. So it makes it really easy to use. And so how we use this is our tack side just goes on the bottom of our model piece here. We got to apply some pressure. Let's hope this tack isn't too dried out. There we go. And then bam, we get a nice holder stand. We can kind of just rotate this man around and we can work on him nice and easily. And he can still stand up if we need him to. So it's pretty great. But, so like I said, we got some more colors here. So what I plan on doing with this pearl white, I'm thinking pearl white, or I'm also debating this this one here, and then I have a paint carousel next to me now that I retrieved. Where's the color I'm looking for up here? It's great because you kind of just rotate it and find what you want. And I have them all labeled in these little bottles here that make them really easy to find which one I'm looking for. Then I also have some of my army paints in there too. But we're not using those colors. No, I'm looking for a specific one here, so I gotta rotate it around. Ah, there we go. All right, corpse pail. I'm thinking about also using this for the teeth. I think we'll just try a couple different things on a more blank model here to see what I like on its teeth. This guy's teeth kind of sticks out pretty good there because he got that open mouth. So it'll be nice and easy to test out these different things on them. But yeah. And then the gray here is obviously for their weapons. You know, these rock parts. Yep, I knew this tack wasn't good enough. I'll probably have to buy some more. I'll just hold them by hand. And then I'm thinking about glossing the gray on their backs because, like, while I like the silver, I think it's too offsetting for the piece. These guys look very natural. Like maybe you'd find them out in a forest or something like that, kind of trudging about. And this silver just throws that way, way, way off. And then, other than this gray we have for it, I also have this steel gray, which I feel like has a kind of a stony look to it too. And it's a matte finish, it's not a metallic, which means it shouldn't be shiny and glittery like the silver metallic I have on his back currently. So we're gonna see. We're gonna experiment and we're gonna kind of figure out what's best here for us. And for our little trogger boys. And I think that's the gist of it. I brought a bunch of metallic paints in case we want to change speed. I have some guys from a different type of game that wear like metal armor and all that. So if we want to try that out and y'all want to see it, I can show you metallics, metallics are my favorite kind of paint. Metallics and color shifts, which color shifts are really great because this is several colors in one, depending on what you put it on top of surface-wise, like how dark or bright it is. Greens and stuff, it'll change what this comes out as. And also it's just real pretty and shiny. And I like the shiny colors, I'll be honest. So we'll just play around with these trogs for a bit and kind of just see where we end up. Alright, so for the teeth, I don't think I can use this brush. I think I'm going to have to pick a slimmer brush here. Ooh. Alright, so I got this nice one here unopened. So I get these up at my my local shop. It's a card shop, and they sell these really cheap brushes. And these brushes, when I say they're cheap, they're really, really cheap, but they're still kind of nice. If they have good give and take to them. And I think they paint pretty well still, so this is probably what I'll end up using here. And so we're just gonna kind of play around. And I was talking to my best bud Sal yesterday, and what I'm thinking here is he was telling me about how to make this his butt a little bit better. That I should get a little bit of the alcohol on here and kind of just enough to, get the paint particles I don't know what the word for it is. He used some word. But it'll just allow us to spread it better, spread out the red and blend it a little better so it's not just blatantly red. And then he was telling me maybe I should try some more red on the ears and on the knuckles for blood flow, so maybe we'll try that out too. We're just going to try a variety of things today, because that's what we're here to do. Alright, so these other Troggle boys, we're just going to set them up to the side for a little bit, and we're going to work on our main model here. Because the main model is kind of our test model. As you can see, he's kind of at the forefront of this battle. So I'm not sure what we want to do first. I was thinking the back, but we could also do the teeth. But I really want to fix this silver before I go on. So we'll probably go with the back here. No, my paints are old, so they they're dried out around the tips, and they do all this fun chipping. We can just pull that off though. Set it off to the side. Okay, so what's also cool that I didn't explain is where's one of them? So these little things that I have paints in. So something I figured out originally when I was putting the paint in here, you can kind of see this funny streak here, is that you need to actually use the alcohol in these, because the alcohol stops bacteria from growing in the paints, and the bacteria eats the paint pigments. And so some of these I will have to redo, but some of them I did the correct way, and it really does show a big difference in them. And you don't get all these funny little markings and colors, because apparently bacteria eats the paint particles, which is not good. I think we just try both of these and kind of see how it turns out, is what I'm thinking here. So that's what we'll do. We get a little bit of that there. Get this brush a little wet. Because I have such a short amount here, I'm just mixing a little bit with water here, straight onto our paper towel. So I'm more so just testing right now what I'm looking for. I think I like this gray a little bit, but I think it might be a tad bit too dark, but we'll see how it looks on them. Alright, and then we just start taking it away, Maestro. So it may not be too dark because I am painting it over this this metallic, so it may just give it a little bit of brightness and gleam that I'm looking for. But we will definitely just have to see by going. So we'll pause here for a moment when I get done with this side and kind of see what we're looking at here and see if we like it or not. That's a bit too watery. I'm just patting them on the edge of this paper towel here. It's not looking bad, I don't think. Still has a gleam to it. Ugh. I've been having allergies. Allergies suck. A lot. And I feel bad for whoever gets allergies. Right, there we go. That's a better consistency of our paint here. So we're just kind of covering all this up real quick. And seeing if we end with kind of a rocky, stony color that we want. Or at least look. Alright, we're almost there. Just kind of making sure it's all spread out. The main thing is using the slap chop method. I think that's what it's called anyways. I'll be honest, I don't know what it's called. I'm kind of just going. I'm kind of just making sure it gets into the crevices. The way how I learned to paint from my friend Sal is he told me like one method and he just told me to go gun-ho with it. And that's what I did. And I kind of just play around to figure out what I want. But I'm really liking the stone over this metallic right now. So we may not end up using this steel gray. So let's take a closer look at this guy. So I like how it has some of the glimmer left. Thank you. I like that it has some of the glimmer left, but I like that it's not too shiny, because it definitely makes him look more natural. I'm going to have to fix up this skin color a bit to make sure it blends a little bit better. And I might have to do some brown here on the edge of his skin to make it kind of look like it's turning into the rock, is what I think we're going to have to go for. But so I think I'm going to continue with this over his whole model. So I'll take a quick minute. I think we're going to just continue with that and see where that ends us up at. And I think I might test this on a trog without any silver to kind of see what it looks like on just going over the plain black. So, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So this guy, he is, so this is Age of Sigmar. So you have 40k, you have 30k, and all this fun stuff. Age of Sigmar is more of like your fantasy realm, where you get dragons and things like that. So he is destruction. And more specifically than that, he is the Gloomspite Gits, which are a whole bunch of goblin boys. I actually have some other models on my cabinet over there that I did not paint, sadly, but they are great inspiration pieces. And they're more of like the goblin thing that you would expect out of them. And so these guys are pretty crazy, and they're usually like a bluish color and all that, because they live underground around mushrooms, which I think is pretty cool. And what's called the Bad Moon is what they worship. So if you've ever seen, what's that one show? Soul Eater. How the moon looks off of Soul Eater when it's like smiling with the blood dripping down it. That's kind of like the Bad Moon, what that looks like. And 40k is really cool too. I think the coolest thing about Age of Sigmar and 40k is when you have demons in this, you can translate them over to 40k. You can use them in the same thing. So like my Fate Weaver I was showing off the other day, which is a different one of my projects, he's really cool Because if I wanted to play 40K, I could also run them in 40K. And I wouldn't have to change them or do anything to them. It's just like the guys with swords and stuff, you can't run them. Which makes sense. You wouldn't want to bring a sword to, a tank fight. Well, I am liking this gray a lot. So like I was saying yesterday, we might have just stumbled upon some greatness here. Sometimes you just gotta play around and see what happens. So you gotta be careful here to not get gray on other parts of this boy. Yeah, and I'm thinking maybe I'll get some pictures of my friend Sal's art to show y'all. So I can show you what I mean by his painting style. So he leans towards more darker colors. So he likes to bring it up to bring it down, as he says. And I lean more towards our brighter colors. So we make a pretty good pair when we paint something together because we get this magnificent, I guess you could say, symphony of colors where we're balancing everything out just right for each other. Yeah, so what's cool is I didn't know what would be, better to do on stream, like painting or playing League, because obviously I do both in my regular life, and painting has always been more personal to me. So, but I'm really glad that people like seeing this painting, and that they like what I'm painting, because granted, if they didn't like it, I'd probably still do it, don't get me wrong. But it's nice to see that people do actually like my art. Because one day I do hope to paint armies and sell them for a commission and open up my own shop. Card shop is like my ultimate dream out there. Me and my best friend Sal, that is our dream, is to open up a shop, run it, have like a painting bar. Thank you. We think so too. And the thing is, I've always felt behind Sal, but he's painted for years more than I have. So I guess it's natural. I always feel behind him, like I'm slacking. And I was always scared that if we worked together on this, that he'd have to run the painting stuff alone, and I'd run all the card business and whatnot. Which I like cards too. But as I paint more and more, I'm getting the confidence that I could actually, stand beside him. Because I don't like just staying behind someone else and their work. I like to be able to pull my own weight. But yeah, he's the one who brought up the idea of like a painting bar, and I do think that's a magnificent idea because we can help teach people how to paint. We can work together with them, and that's what I think is missing sometimes. Is sometimes it's hard to know where to start, what to do. Hell, even for me and Sal, sometimes, we bat ideas back and forth on what this guy should look like. These orcs, do we just make them green? Like, all orcs are green. And we batted back and forth ideas, and he ended up making these blue swamp orcs in, like, a snowy swamp area. So they're like a grayish blue, kind of like the Frostwalker guys from the that one show, Game of Thrones. And one day, when we hang out, because we live quite a bit away from each other, when we hang out, maybe I'll bring back a model or two to actually just show y'all on camera, like what he does. That's fine, man. I appreciate you just being here. And so one day I hope to bring back some of these models that he's done, because I have pictures on my phone, but I feel like pictures never do a model justice. Sometimes you really have to see them in person to get a feel for them, I feel like. So, like I said, I'm just happy to paint with y'all because this gives me the confidence for the store and all that. Oh, I'm really just loving this guy. Don't worry, I'll let you know when I finish all this gray. I'll let you know that I'm finished so you can take a peeky peek at him. Because if you're working or something, I don't want to distract you too much. Gotta get in these crevices here. Because I don't mind the tips shining through, but I can't really have these crevices on him shining too much. So that's why I'm really trying to get in the crevices here and make sure that the paint is nice and spread out in them. So I think I'm liking this gray with the silver undertone is because it's making it look like iron to me, while it's having kind of that shine and glint, push through. Like it's stones with fragments of iron, which I think is really cool because these guys are supposed to be, rock hard, but not in a bad way. Oh, and I'm sure my bestie for resties, when I show him some pictures of these guys tonight, because I always consult him when I'm done to see if he has any ideas, and his idea was to do a stone up here, which I was already thinking of getting rid of the silver, because they're kind of looking like silverback gorillas, but in like a really bad way. So we had the same idea there, and I think he's gonna love this new look coming out on this guy. And the best part about painting these models is when you get to see them all on the table together painted. And amazing and beautiful looking, I think. And so I definitely like putting more detail than not, which can sometimes be bad when you have a group of models, because these guys are in groups of threes. It can look messy on the table itself, even though the models individually look great. It's like looking at a glob of colors together, essentially. And so I'm trying to be careful than that. I was always told the golden rule is you don't do more than 3 different colors on a model, which I'm very, very bad at following that golden rule, sadly. Let's make sure we get right in there. And so another problem about these models is, when you see these lines when I'm painting in them, that look like they're dividing everything. The problem there is those are just seams from building the model itself. Like you can see it on his neck here. I can kind of even just fit my brush in there. And so usually you have to use green stuff or some type of putty or something like that to fill it, or clay. There we go, to fill that in. And I'm very bad at doing that. And so usually my guys have these lined, but I'm hoping to fix it with one of my painting methods that I have. And I'll show y'all what I mean by that when we roll around to that, because I've had to do it on a piece before already, because I bought a piece that was already built. And sadly, the person, they weren't stellar at building it, and they left gaps that shouldn't have been there, even for steam lines and all that. Like, it just wasn't, maybe the model was just a little hard to piece together for me. It happens. And so I had to find a painting style to incorporate that to make it look like it's actually that thing. Like that's natural on the piece. So I'll show y'all how I do that when we roll around to that. But that is more like finishing touches on pieces rather than, this mass painting I'm doing on them. But, so, that will be fun to play around with. It doesn't always work, and it's still a little experimental, because I've only tried it a couple times, but I think it'll work. Alright, let's get this right here. You know, painting these gray spikes, I kind of feel like I'm painting like a Pokemon type figure on certain parts. You know, like a Sandquill. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm just taking my time and going slow here. And don't worry, you can take all the sneak peeks you like at this guy. Yeah, he's looking a lot more natural and foresty. So like on this little black part here, I'm gonna do some brown, probably to kind of match it in. You know, kind of like he was sleeping and maybe like he was a rock curled up into the ground, like a dome, and he kind of woke up, shook some dirt off of him. So I might have to do some dry brushing with my brown, do like a particle dirt effect on him, which I think would do good for these guys too. And luckily these are bigger models in themselves, so it makes it easier to put more colors on them and not look messy. That's why I can have plenty of fun with these guys. I always find it more fun to paint the bigger models than the smaller models. Because while smaller models are great, you just have like a million of them. Which really, really sucks. When you have like 6 million little guys to paint. I actually have a tray of said 6 million little guys sitting that I've been painting for a long time, and it's just, it feels impossible because there's always another one, and it's very repetitive. So while these trogs only have 3 in a unit, it makes it less repetitive, but I still have more than 6 unit of these guys, which I'll probably end up painting most of them off stream. But I like experimenting with y'all on stream here with these guys, seeing how beautiful I can get them to look. Now the fun part is when we get to the teeth here, to see if we can make it match with everything else. By giving that bony green, you know, that grim looking. And then what my friend Sal told me is I should also make, essentially it's blood for the blood god, is what it's called, and then you mix it with something else, and it makes it like stringy, so you can make bloodlines. And he was saying I should put that in the mouth, you know, some on the belly and whatnot. You know, make these guys look really hungry and vicious. And I don't think that's a terrible idea either. Now we do some light strokes here, get in these rocks, because the biggest thing is I don't want to get the piece of wood here I worked very hard on yesterday. Because sadly, the brown I have is too dark to go on this black. Now if I primed these guys white, it would work. But the problem is, if I primed them white, then my skin color, I'd have to paint black before I did any of that skin color. And so I decided to take the lesser of two evils here and just prime them all black, because you can't prime like a part black, a part white. I mean, maybe you can, I'm not completely sure, but that'd be so much trouble. So I'd rather just paint what I have to white. And so I like this skin color and all this. Sadly, our biggest model, so the bigger the models get, the less the skin, like the skin painting looks good. Because the way I blend it is I give it a dirty look, because trogs are dirty, in my opinion. But when we get to this big model, and I'll show you him, he's Trog himself. He's just named Trog. And he's huge. And the problem is I can't do the skin color on him. At least I believe so. So we're going to have to work together and find what color I'm going to make his skin. Maybe I'll paint him traditional Trog colors. And the bigger problem with it is he's the army leader piece. And he's like the leader of all Trogs, is his backstory. And so it's going to be really, really hard to make him look as great as he should. Because that's my opinion in big models, especially when they're like the head of your army, that they have to look absolutely beautiful, unique, magnificent. You know, like he needs to stand out. Your opponent needs to know where he's at all points on the battlefield, whether they want to or not. I need a little bit more gray right there. There we go. Let's make sure we get a little bit right in there. Do I have too much silver peeking out? I think I have too much silver peeking out at me on this leg. Alright, we're about to be done with all this gray. Just gotta do a little bit of touching up here, because I don't want too much of the silver peeking out. Alright, and I think we got our gray here. His lower back is a little messy. I might have to do a little bit of silver on that. I'm not sure. Thin it out a little bit more. It's just this is more condensed down here. I think the rest of it looks fantastic here. And I definitely like the more natural looks. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. So let's get a little bit more gray going down right here. There we go. There we go. Alright. So, now I'm going to switch to my bone color, because I need to do this bone color, because this is a big bone. Now I could continue with the gray on these weapons, but I'm thinking I'm going to make a hybrid gray here, using the white from yesterday that I used for this, and using a lighter gray on this. Just kind of lighten up the gray as much as I can for his weapon tops. And so right now I'm going to work on his teeth, his little teethies here, and I think I'm going to test my teeth color on this boy. So... now, I know he's like the test model for all these colors, but I want to make sure I get the color I'm thinking of correct. And I'm going to be testing it right here on this little tooth. So, let me clean off my brush here. And I'll let this guy just kind of sit here. He can watch. Okay, so first I'm actually just going to try Corpse Pale by itself. I think it's a little too pale to be a bone, but we're just going to try a little bit of it. There we go. Just the littlest, tiniest amount that we can get. Ooh, is it not mixed up good? Yeah, it's not mixed up very well. But we got the rough color here. And now I'm just going to put it up against him and see if I like this color. See, I think it's a little too pale, a little too milky. So I don't think I'm going to end up using the Corpse Pale on his teeth, sadly. I thought I was going to have a really, really easy solution out of this. But we're going to have to mix a couple colors together. We're going to have to experiment. So I'm just rubbing off the other trog's mouth. So I can try another color. Maybe if I shake it up a bit. So these have ball bearings in them. The army painters. So you can shake them up nice and good. But the problem is if you haven't shaken them up in a while, the ball bearing doesn't want to move around. And you got to really, really work it. Alright, I can hear the ball bearing moving, so I think it's loosened enough. Okay. Let's see it now. Let's see if we got a little better of a consistency. Oh yeah, that's a lot better consistency there. But again, I don't know, I'm just not feeling it. I know on the camera it just looks white, but I'm not feeling it for teeth on these guys. Alright, let's try some other colors. Alright, I feel like this is almost the same color, so we'll see. Alright, so we have another tooth right here. Okay, I think I do like this a little bit better. It's too watery. I'm bad today at watering down my paints. Sorry, I stick brushes in my mouth when I go to use my hands for other things. So that's why I sound like I'm chewing on something. I don't actually chew on the brushes though. Oh god. Oh god, I'm so bad at this right now. Squeezing the life out of this bottle. What's funny is yesterday I was talking about how much I hate wasting paint, and I'm being a monster right now. But I think I do like this color better for the teeth here. What if I mix them together, actually? What if I layer them? See, this is experimenting in painting, man. You just... What if I do this? What if I layer all 5 of these colors together? It's not bad. I think that might be our tooth color. I know it still just looks white on the camera. I'm going to see if I can adjust this any so you can see the real color of this tooth. There you go, that's a little bit better. The light's just too bright is the problem. Let me see. I got another light. Here we go. So yeah, I think we have a good color right now. So I'm gonna apply it to our main man here, because we got a lot of teeth here. He's kind of like he's smiling at us. So we're just gonna. Oh god, I'm putting my hand in paint now. So we're just gonna apply this color and kind of see how it looks on the main model itself. This is so intense right now. I won't lie. Getting these little teeth here. And you get under his nose and his eyes a bit too. I always miss crook and crannies like that, because I mainly look at the model from like an upper view. When I'm painting these small parts here, I gotta be more careful. Oh yeah, I think I like those teeth on him. Oh, he definitely got a pair of chompers on him. I definitely like that. So it's a little exaggerated right now, but once I get his lips a little bit more with a red with some of the skin color, it'll tone it back in. Because right now we're just seeing the this bare color against the black. But I definitely like those chompers on him. Those chompers definitely look like they're going to get the job done. And so, because I think this is a good bone color, he's holding a big bone here. Now I'm going to apply this color to here. So. And this is more of an easy application here. You just gotta be a little careful when we get close to his hand is all. Well, I gotta turn off my heater. I'm gonna fry myself. Oh, there we go. So we just taking this nice and easy. I still need to figure out what I want to paint this sand and ground down there. I'll probably just have to do like a brownish, kind of like it's forest floor, mix some green in there is what I'm thinking. I do have some grass, like, you know, the little grass model pieces I can put up there. But we're still quite a way off of doing that. It's just something I like to think about as I look at the model, because it helps me figure out what I'm doing with the rest of the model. Sorry, got a little itchy there on my arm. Ooh, like, there's some white I missed right there that I gotta do some brown on. That's looking like a nice bone that he's holding as a handle. So what's cool about making these guys really interactive, really cool looking, is that they look good. But what's really bad about it is, this is now the standard for every other single trog that I'm going to be painting. And so I'm a little scared. It's going to take a while to get them done. But I'll probably pull out some mass painting techniques for the models, which I will show you all that too. Where you just go hog wild with it, you know? But, so I have played these guys on the table already before. So, but they were not painted, they were only primed. And I'm very excited to get all of these guys painted and see them on the table, uniform, army, slowly, very, very slowly, because they don't move fast, going down the field at my opponent. Because that's a cool thing about trogs. They don't move very fast, but when they get to you, they pack a punch. And the coolest part is this guy who's holding this rock. So each trog is technically holding one of these in your unit, and they all throw the rocks, and they don't need line of sight of the enemy. They just start chucking rocks like mad lads. You know, it's like they're arcing them over stuff, and that's why they don't need to see you. And that's what makes these guys really fun, is you walk very slowly, and you just throw rocks. You throw boulders. There we go. But like I said last stream, I always feel like I get itchy the more I focus on painting. I don't know why that is. Like, was I just always itchy, and now that I'm focusing, I realize how itchy I am? Or is my body just trying to mess with me while I'm painting? Yeah, so what I'm getting is this bone side right underneath here. And just getting around his hand. is all I'm doing. And now we're going to look at it from this angle to get closer. For me, one of the hardest things is just finding a good angle to line the paint up at a lot of the time to get it up there. There we go. That's looking pretty good. I got some more white there. I do. So the other good thing about painting it white and getting a good coat on it is that you can kind of inspect it and see what you're missing pretty easily. Now I just realized the club keeps going up here, so we're gonna have to. I'm gonna paint these ropes white so I can paint them green, so I don't mind beating them up a little bit. And it looks like the bone is broken up there, kind of like in a splint. So we gotta make sure we get that too. Just trying to make sure I get a good coat on all these spots. Okay, so that looks pretty good now. So we're almost done with the bigger parts of this boy. Oh, big stretch. Alright, we're done stretching. Alright, let's get another coating on his teeth real quick while we're sitting here with this glob of paint. Alright, that's looking more solid. There we go. That's a nice coat on his teeth. Alright, I'm probably gonna do teeth on these other guys real quick while I got the opportunity to not waste this paint, so you'll have to give me a hot second while I do this. Yeah, I definitely like that teeth color on these guys. Soon as I put it on the other ones. Alright, that's another set of chompers done. And then, do I have another boy that needs chompers? This is a bigger dude I've been working on my own. He needs some chompers. I need a closer look here. Okay, so that tusk has continued to go up. Oh, it makes it look so creepy with these teeth. Oh, I just accidentally painted my desk a little bit. I guess it needed a makeover. Now let's get this man's mouth too while we're at it. So this is kind of like what mask painting is, what I'm doing currently. Switching between all these guys. Because usually after you get a feel for how you're supposed to, how delicate you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to aim your brush, you can start to pick up the pace and switch between all these guys. But part of the thing of speed painting is you don't use a lot of different colors. So you can kind of just... Does he have something stuck in his mouth? I think he does. Let's see if I can get that on out. Or at least just shove it somewhere where it doesn't matter. There we go. There we go. We got some teeth done. Now, if I wanted to keep going, like I said, I have a million troggs. I can just keep doing teeth all day if I was speed painting. But I want to switch it up because I am trying to get this one guy done. I just didn't want to waste too much paint, so I wanted to get the teeth done on a couple of these boys. And so usually when I find the color I'm going to use for something, like let's say this, sometimes I keep it in front of me so I don't forget, and I just put away the other paints. But sometimes I'm not good about putting away my paints. Thanks, man. But usually, so I'll just take the other paints and I'll toss them. Yeah. Yeah, see, this is one of the ones I was debating about using for the teeth as a metallic. Because what I was going to do with this is, like the Rocky back, I was going to do a first coat of this and then do something else to follow it up. But I don't think that would look any good. My mouse keeps scooting around as I take stuff on and off my desk. Because this is actually just my, my gaming desk when I stream League and all that. And I just make it easy by moving the camera around. Alright, let's put those back there. Alright, but getting back to this, but we got a lot of bone, which is good. But now we need to get the rock on these weapons. I need to get the green on these ropes. So we're gonna start going through some schmotions here. So we're just cleaning off the brush right now. Yeah, I'm painting some of the mat down there, but that's an old mat I used to use to play cards that got coffee spilt on it, so I don't care too much if it gets absolutely demolished. Alright, so one of my little dilemmas here is I'm afraid of having too much stone on this guy, because this is going to be stone, this is going to be stone, all of that stuff is stone. So I was debating about doing a different color, but the rule about having X amount of colors, which is usually 3, I already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I already have 6 different like color type things showing. I'll be streaming for a couple hours today, and then I may stream some League later tonight, but I try to stream every day around 9 a.m. my time. So like an hour and 40 minutes ago. I try to get on by that time or around that time. So just feel free to hop in whenever. And I appreciate you being here. Yeah, I'll give you a quick roundabout of this guy before you go, as best as I can. Thank you. He is sick. He has a cold. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. And I will have a great stream because I'm just sitting here painting. Alright, we're switching back into this gray. Yeah, so I'm probably just going to do the weapons as stone anyways and just kind of see how it works. But I guess I got to do my silver first. So let me see. Ah, here it is. So here's my silver that I've been using. I know, I use like 3 different types of paint when I paint, which you're not supposed to do that. You're not, because they all have different consistencies. They all peel differently. It's weird. But we're just going to ignore that, and we're just going to go. Alright. We got a little bit of silver here. I don't have to water this down at all because it's a metallic. If anything, I put way too much here. I'll just get some other backs of some other guys while I'm at it and do a little bit more mass painting. There we go. So silver, you don't typically want as much of it going on because metallics actually, at least this is what I was told, have metal pieces in them, and that's what's giving you your glimmer and shine and your metallic look. So all you have to do is dry brush on metallics enough and do a couple layers of it until you get your silver. But luckily we're not going exactly for silver here. We are going for stone. So we won't have to do as many layers or as many coats into this. So you can kind of see the silver coming together. We're just applying a coating of it here. Making sure I'm not really missing anything here. But it'll be okay if I miss a little bit, because it'll give it more... It'll make it more dynamic. So I do love this camera light because it definitely lets me see the stuff that I would otherwise miss. So that's pretty great. So I get to show y'all stuff and not miss things. I'd say that's a win-win. Other than the me literally almost biting the camera as I talk, like gnawing on this thing. Because it's right next to my face. Like, maybe I should just get a tougher stand for it so I can rest my head on it while I paint. That'd be kind of cool. Take, like, a mini nap as I go. And now, my lady was talking to me, and she was saying that I could... Obviously, I could take this camera, flip it around, put it on the other side, have it pointed towards me, so it's not in the way, but, you know, y'all don't need to see me. Y'all are here to see this. I don't... All of me and my beauty would just only be a distraction. Also, when I'm painting, I think I have more things to talk about while streaming, because I'm just talking about the different painting I'm doing, the different, what I think is a technique that I'm doing, and it makes it more fun for me. Because when I'm playing League, I don't want to just sit there and explain a game of League, especially if people who are watching it obviously usually know what League is and how it works. And so it is kind of weird to be like, alright, this is League. This is how it works. And I just run out of topics to talk about too fast. But I guess, by painting I feel more free, I feel more open. And it's easy just talking about stuff, getting this painting done. Now the thing is, when I switch to gray on this, I'm going to have to be really, really careful. Because that gray will eat this green hands down immediately. So when I do switch, I'm going to have to be really, really focused, really careful to make sure I'm not accidentally, spitter spattering onto my green here. So I usually typically like the beginning parts of painting better when you're not as detailed and focused. When, you're kind of just splattering, throwing paint up there, being a mad lad, in other words. Because I don't have to be as delicate or as precise like I'm doing here with this. Here, let me see if I can get that a little closer. With this little black part right here in between all this green. See, and this is what I mean is I have to be careful. I'm already getting some silver on the green. I'm probably going to have to redo the green. And the problem is all this stuff is so close that I feel like I'm never going to get it perfect. But I will certainly keep trying to. I think this is pretty good on our silver. Nope, missing a piece right there. Now we just do some touching up here. Yeah, we're kind of missing this whole section here. That's why we keep looking around and figuring out if we're missing anything. Alright, there we go. Now I think that's good. Oh, nope. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Switching on to like this claw hammer part here. I'm thinking maybe on this, on the tip, I'll leave it shiny. Kind of like it's a, like he kind of carved this iron rock with his fist to kind of have a point of iron there. I don't think that'd be terrible. And that's what I mean by I get ideas when I'm painting. Because I like all my pieces, and the reason why they have X paint on them to have a story that accompanies why that looks the way it looks. Because I feel like it just gives it more meaning. Kind of like if you had a D&D character with no background story, that would suck. Like, sure, they're cool, they have these cool stats, they can do these cool things, but without a background story, there's not much there to dig into. Unless, you're like, I guess doing a quest for your background story. I don't know. Like the principle, everyone grew up somewhere. Everyone went through something. Because that's what shapes you into, who you are. And I think that's important to a person. Whether it was, good, bad, just like the paint job, whether it's good or bad, there's a backstory behind it. And, that really matters. Alright, let's see. Yeah, we need to get underneath right here. Can y'all see that too? Oh, you can. Okay, good. Just start beating this up right here. I need to get that better right there. That's looking beautiful. Oh, I got a little claw tooth down here too. I noticed it on this side, but I never noticed it on this side until now. So that's going to be great to paint too. Wow. Just wow. So these trogs are my personal army. Now, why everything else I paint, I'm painting it to hopefully sell it at some point to some lucky person, and I feel like I can't slack whether it's mine or somebody else's that I'm painting and working on. But I've been told by other people, when it's like their own stuff, they kind of do less on it. Because I guess it's more of like the mentality of I just want to get this done. I want to get this over with. But when it's my stuff, that's when I want to go like the hardest that I can. Because when it's my personal stuff, I can do whatever I want to it. I don't have to worry about somebody looking at it being like, gross. I guess is the easiest way to put it. Oof, I like that so much. Alright, so we're going to set that man down. And we're going to stretch our back. Oh. But, so, like my Zinch boys that I'm painting, I'm hoping to sell them at some point. So I definitely got to finish them. And I think when it's for somebody else, sometimes I go a little slower. Especially, well, if there's not like a buyer already for it, because I don't want to give this, I don't want to give up that hard work. I don't want to give up that dedication that I've poured into it. I think is part of it. And so I start to go slow, or and slower and slower because I'm like, man, if I get this done, I actually have to list it. I have to try to sell this. Now, on the other hand, if it was like a commission, if somebody came to me and was like, hey, here's this thing, can you, make it look like this? First, I'll be like, I don't know if I can make it look like that. Because I kind of do off-paint jobs. Like, if you had me a monster, oh, yeah, I'd be happy. I'd be like, yeah, I can make that monster look like a monster. But, I'd probably get that done pretty easily because I don't get to keep it. I don't get to see it, play with it that much. The playing with it is just painting it. But so with this Zinch, I get to keep them and play with them as long as I don't finish them. It's kind of like the mentality because there's no time limit on it. Obviously the time limit of make money, eat, and sleep, and all that. And I guess I need to start thinking about it from the perspective of, if you get this done, man, you could buy more models. So I'm doing something a little funny here. I'm trying to make sure I don't mess up any of their model. I watered it down to make sure I could get into all these cracks and crevices real quick. That's why I'm going real fast all of a sudden. And making sure I spread it and not let it touch the other parts of the model. So you'll have to excuse me for a second if you can't see too well what I'm doing. The reason why I keep taking my brush off is because I'm doing this and drying it. So I can dry this stuff as I slowly apply it. And see, there you go. So it's not really on top, it's in all these cracks and crevices, which is more what I was shooting for. And now what I do is I just go back to regular. And kind of just lather them up now. Let's make sure we get these little rocks right here. Gotta make sure we get this hand right here. Sorry about that. Sorry for the jump scare if you're just enjoying this. Oh, the legs. That's what I'm forgetting. Let's flip you around, boy. Ooh, I can't touch certain spots right now. And look at this other leg. Oh, and we gotta get this hand now. We're just going piece by piece. Alright, so we got the silver done on this boy. On to the next. Oh, wait, look how fast I was at painting that. Just grabbed it, painted. Alright, next. Oh god, no, don't fall, please, don't leave me. Alright, let's do this, guys. So usually I do this with a bigger brush, but this brush was already in my hand. So I might switch brushes here. Yeah, we're gonna switch brushes here. So I can actually get this done at a reasonable pace. Alright, we'll set that there so we don't forget about it. And then let's pull a big brush. Not bigger. Alright, there we go. That's a hefty boy. So we gotta get them ready to go. There we go. See how much faster that is? It's important to choose the right brush for the job. I gotta do this big rock up here too, so. So the reason why I'm being a little free here with my brush is because even if I get it on other parts, it's going to end up getting covered up. So I have a little bit more freedom here right now on how I just lather up there. Okay, I think that silver is dead. So now we wash this brush. The reason why I say that is because I used to forget to wash my brushes, by the way, so don't worry. I say that even when it's me by myself. Now we wash that brush to make sure I indeed do wash that brush. Alright, back to the main man here. So I think we're going to go with a gray. We're switching back to our smaller brush here. But I want to use this tooth color I have. But the problem is when I go to dry brush my other paints onto the other trogs that need the tooth color, or the bone color I guess I should say, is, well, I guess I can do a little here, is that, you know, me being a little free with my brush, I'm probably just going to end up covering it up, which isn't what I want to do. But we can certainly get this part right here. Yeah, I can get some of these other little bony parts here. Oh yeah, that's a bone strap to his arm. Or at least if it wasn't, it is now. There we go. I guess this is more like a rock than a bone right there, so I'm not going to get that. Alrighty. So I think I'm just going to have to trash the rest of this paint for right now, which kind of sucks. I mean, I could do another coating on his bone weapon here. That might help. Like I said, I really don't like wasting paint, so... So we're just touching up the bone right now. That's all we're doing. Nice, simple, relaxing. Oh, and seeing those big bald spots that we missed. That's okay. We just go back. And there we go. Beautiful. See, and the reason why I don't stress too much over the spots that I miss is because this is fun for me. And I want it to stay that way forever, if possible. And so that's why when I miss stuff and whatnot, I kind of just laugh it off and I keep going. Because it's not like I can't fix it. It's not like it's permanent that as soon as I put it up here, I can never change it again. Or as soon as I miss something, I can never fix it. And to be honest, that makes me happy. Because in life, there's a lot of times that we can't fix something that we wish we could. And this right here, this is something that can just be fixed. Like, a lot of things in life can be fixed. Even if sometimes we think it's irreversible, sometimes we just missed a little spot that we were painting. And we just gotta go back and, just try our best. Sometimes we miss it a couple times, but that's okay. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be alright. The model will still be here. Life will still be here. And we just try again. I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but at least that's the way I see it when I'm painting. That it all really is going to be quite alright. And then we just take it slow, and we just keep going. There we go. We got a little bit right here that we're missing. Let's see if we can get that. There we go. A little more right there. There we go. Fantastic. Let's see if I can get the top of this bone a little bit. Wow. Man, this must be like some McDonald's, because I'm loving it right now. Because it's the slogan. I think it is, or it used to be. Not too sure. Alright, what was I going to do? I'm doing great. That's what I was going to do. Oh, and some white. Actually, I might do the white and green first on these little ropes here. I could do them brown, but I think I only have one brown color, so I can't make it much different from the wood. So I think I'm just going to do it white and green. Make it look like everything was made out of vines. Alright, so where's my white? Where did I put it? There we go. Ah, too much. I gotta get better at this. Maybe I'm just lacking control. Alright, well, we'll see how much control I'm lacking right here and right now. Oh, no, no, did I not dry my brush good enough? Oh no! It's going everywhere, it's spreading! Alright, we just cleaned it up. Okay, there we go, we cleaned it up. Alright, let me dry my brush better. I'm being a fool right now. That's still a little wet. There we go, okay. Now let's see if we can do this. Oh, oh, I'm focusing so much right now. I feel like I'm fighting for my life here. Whew. You know, I do say this is hard, but another model I'll show y'all later that I gotta finish up is I have these dwarves, and they have weapons that are chained together by like little links, and I individually painted each link one silver, one gold, one silver, one gold, one silver, one gold, and let me tell you, that was hard. Because at the junctions at where they linked into each other, you had I had to focus so much and I had to get exactly right. And what's funny about that is it wasn't like a loose like link chain either, because it was plastic just like this. And I actually have a magnifying piece for my glasses that goes onto the right side, and I had to flick it and magnify it as much as I could to make sure I was getting that right. That's okay if that stays like that. Now, part of me wishes I never realized this rope was here. It's like, man, why? But these ropes will not paint themselves, so whew. Now we do this side. Well, we do the top first. Going as slow and precise as I can here, making sure not to miss a single thing, because I have to go back and do this with the green, and then I never want to go back and do this again. But I know I have another guy who has more weapons like this, so that's gonna be fun. So if you ever wonder how they get these really detailed parts, I guess here you go. This is exactly what you wanted to see. Try not to grind my teeth together because this is not easy. I can't mess up because the more I mess up, the more I have to go back to fix the bone. And the bone, because it's on a lower level than the straps, it's going to be really hard to get the bone and not mess up the straps. So, good times, everybody, is what I'm trying to say. I'm good at this. I think I'm getting better. I used to really struggle with these parts. Oh, and as soon as I spoke, I just splattered it on the rock. Good going, me. Jeez, I think I am getting better at that. I'm going to be painting this screen later, so... Oh, what's also cool about this is the more I paint, the more I feel like my bestie for resties is encouraged to paint too. And the more he paints, the more I want to paint. So it's like we're driving each other, you know, to be the best that we can be when it comes to this. And I'm messing up a bit here. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. He has a rock strapped to his head. That's okay. That strap will now be green, buddy. Also, before I started priming guys and painting these guys, I never knew what white paint was for, and I absolutely hate discovering what it's for. But here we are, becoming better than we were yesterday. So I'm still debating whether I should do their cloth screen, but I think if I do them like a purple or something, it's going to be too much. So I might have to also do those cloth screen on these guys just to kind of tie everything in. And at least keep some semblance of unity. Oh, this strap is not easy to get at all. I'm struggling greatly here. It's just in a really weird, like, crooked, like, position. Oof. Whew. Yeah, so let's do white on here now for him too. Okay, okay. Kind of liking it, kind of liking it. We're going in the right direction. What is this? Is like a little pouch with rocks in it? That's what it looks like. Alright, so we'll make the pouch green. Or I'll make it the brown. And I'll lighten up the brown to make it more of like a tan. I'm not completely sure yet how we're doing that. Oh. I'm like not breathing trying to get these parts. Like holding my breath. What's this supposed to be? Are these like mushrooms he's holding right here? I think they might be like mushrooms tied to him, so we'll figure out how we're gonna do that. Oh, that was stressful though. Oh, sweet. Oh, mama, that was not fun. Mm. My mouth is dry. I'm focusing so hard. Let me drink some water real quick. Oh. Where did I put my water? Here we go. I don't know how long I was on that part for, but it felt like an hour. I tell you what. Oh. I'm also gonna eat a quick piece of beef jerky. Don't worry, it's what the hand I paint with, not the one that holds the model. Sorry, I muted myself because I don't want y'all to hear me chewing, and I'm pretty sure y'all didn't want to hear me chewing. I tried off my brush really good this time. What was this paint trying to say? Maybe I need to switch napkins here soon. Oh, I got a white spot on them. Damn it. I mean, darn it. Well, that's dried too. Alright, I'll just fix it later. Yeah, so I think that's rocks in their, like their little pouch here. Sorry, I saw a glob too big on my brush. Alright, switching up to these. So we're just doing all these straps that we're going to do green because we have white out right now. White out. We have white on the paper towel right now. So I figure I might as well do these little parts that matter. Because we're going to have to come back and do it anyways. It is unavoidable. So might as well just get it done now and make it a little easier on ourselves. Oh, and if I keep doing painting streams, I do have a special surprise for y'all that I think you'll like. We're gonna be painting some very, very special models. So, okay, I think those are his straps painted. I don't think I see any others. So this is the guy with the dwarven head. Do I need to do any parts of this dwarven part? White. Bronze. Okay, no, I don't think I have to. Okay, so I gotta do the nest up here white because I am gonna paint it a brown. So we just go real careful here. I don't know what color we're gonna make that bird on top of his head yet though, but we will figure that out. Now we gotta get some of this inside here. So that's also gonna be brown. This right here. There we go. Alright, so these guys usually have these necklaces that they're wearing. It's just some of the guys we didn't put it on there because we had so many of them. It would have been just a tad bit repetitive. So we'll also do these straps as green. Feels weird to keep saying this is going to be green, and then we are not painting any green right now. There you go. I don't know if y'all could have saw what I'm doing good, but I remembered it has. I should probably keep it in front of the camera. Whew. Sorry, getting white in some spots I don't want white, so I was taking them over to the paper towel to undo that. You know, whatever the undo button is on the keyboard. And so the reason why I go back and forth like that is I'm just trying to smooth out the paint. When I'm doing that with my brush, because I don't want it clunked up, too bulked up, or anything like that. All I want is it's covering the the primer. Alright, now we need to turn them this way. Alright, we got any more straps? Alright, I gotta do his clothes. Yeah, we are almost done with our white paint, then we can switch to green and green all these guys up. Oh, that's kind of cool. So I just realized this. They're like bones wrapped around them, holding this thing on. So it's like a skeleton cloth thing. So that's kind of sick. There we go. On that one. Oh, it freaked me out. So a bird usually comes and sits on the AC machine, and it landed up there and started making bird sounds, like birds do. It freaked me out a bit. Curse those birds being birds. You know. All right, we're switching to green, so I can torture myself some more. So of course, the first thing we do, we're gonna put green on hip, and these guys can go stand in queue. I don't need too much green on my brush here, but I do need it. Alright. So I guess we just, I really don't feel like starting with these ropes, but we gotta get them done. Is it wet? Yeah, that's wet. I don't know how I keep doing it, guys. I need to get better at drying off the brush. I think maybe I'm not drying off the whole brush. Alright, let's see if this will do it. Oh, we got a little too much green up there. There we go. There we go. This is what I'm looking for. That bone white does not show up good close to the camera. Let's do this. No, I don't think that's better though. Alright, that's not bad. Alright, slowly but surely, we're getting all that green up there. It'll look better once we get the gray up there and we can cover up the little spots of green we're messing up on. Oh, that's definitely looking better already. Oh, like I said, holding my breath for every single moment of that. Okay, now we switch to the really, really hard part. We're going inside there. Alright, I'm gonna need to change the music to something more intense real quick in my ears. Oh, that's my bestie for Rusty's giving me a quick call. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. He was making sure I was doing my painting right. He was giving me some advice real quick too about instead of instead of using this dark brown here to mix the colors together, he was saying I should mix this brown with a little bit of the gray that I used and then put it down there and see how that turns out. Which I do not think that is bad advice. I will probably end up doing that now. He's like my painting guru, I guess you could say. Except, it's like not a scam or anything like that. Like he's a real painting guru. There we go. But sadly, he cannot watch the stream because he's out in the middle of nowhere working. Oh God. Oh. All right. So here's the thing: is when you're going up to paint something and you're shaking, you're not supposed to tense up. I mean, you can, but that like, it hurts you and sometimes makes you shake more. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to loosen up. That's why I backed off real quick so I could loosen up. I gotta limber up to get this part exacties. And my paint dried while I was limbering up, of course. Is there a better angle? I feel like there's a better angle somewhere here to get this. Maybe right here. I think we call that good enough when we move on from that one piece right there. I'd say that piece might be the hardest piece to get there, like right between that stone and the bone. Like, don't get me wrong, the rest of it is certainly not a walk in the park by any means. But because I still have to paint the stone gray, I don't mind getting it on the stone. No. As much as the bone, which I just got it on the bone. Gotta move fast to get that off. Alright, there we go. Because I also just don't want to do the bone again. Whew, okay. I'm like tapping it with the brush here to make sure I'm not like overstepping anything. I'm gonna need more light here. Oh, that's way too much paint. We gotta flip this guy around now. Nope, my bird friend's back. Wow. Okay. I think I got it, guys. Oh, there's one little spot left. Okay. Wow. I got it. It's not the best, but I got it. That's amazing. That's oof. That's something else. Getting all that. Alright, let's get the easier part now. Which is this right here. There we go. Wow, this guy's almost done. Oh, we're getting very, very close. And I'm excited. I wish I had like a pedestal to stand on that will rotate them. That'd be cool. We still gotta do some nails and stuff. I might do the nails the same color as the bone, so I don't have to add another color onto this guy. we're just touching up spots here now with our green. Wow. Oh, this guy. He's going places. Oh. Oh, sorry, I have a lot of stretching. I was very tense there for a little too long, I feel like. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to take a picture of these guys. Alright, now I need that to focus more. There we go. And then one from above. So, the reason why I'm taking pictures of these guys is so I can remember when I got here to this guy with this one trog about to be done. So close. Oh, he has a strap down there on his foot. I didn't know that rock was strapped to his foot. Oh no, please. Oh, I gotta get that real quick. And I'm talking about this strap right here. There we go. Fix that, dude. Oh, does he have a strap on his foot too? He does. Oh man. Really glad I looked down there. There we go on that one. Do you have a strap on your foot? You do not. Okay. Whew. Whew. Alright, we're about done with this now. There we go. Now we got a green strap on his foot. Woo. Alright, let's finish these other straps and then I think I am outie. Alright, and I think I'm out of green. For the most part. You know, let's try one more thing before I go. We're going to try mixing a little bit of the gray and a little bit of the brown to see if we get kind of like, I guess like a muddish color is what we'd be looking for. I don't know how great that's going to go because we're mixing two different paints also. So, let's just try that real quick. Because what's the worst that can happen? Alright, there's a little tiny bit of the gray. There's a little tiny bit of the brown. Now, we get to schmixing. Ooh, I kind of like this color. That's definitely a mud color. Alright, now let's test this out. Now let's get these big globs off first before I mess something up here. So this is what we're using to tie in. Where the rock and the skin meet, which I think this is actually doing a wonderful job of that right now. Oh yeah, we're definitely making a muddy boy. Oh yeah, I definitely think that helps. Kind of ties it all in. That's really nice. Now I gotta do some around the feet and whatnot. Oh, I gotta do some here on the head too, don't I? Okay, yeah, that really... Let me crank this up. Get this light into place. So, I think that really helped tie in everything. That brown here. There's definitely a lot of stuff I still got to touch up. But that brown really did the trick there. That mud color we just made. That's really nice on this guy. Because I think it colors it in, because it definitely makes the skin look dirty, like what we're going for here. So that is absolutely amazing. I think that's a really good note to end on here. So tomorrow, probably going to do some more painting, because I'm actually really enjoying this. So heads up for tomorrow, we're probably going to do some red on the lips, some more red into the ears. We're just trying to breathe more life into them. We will probably end up doing some grooves on the wood, which may be black. We will finish doing the gray on his weapons. We'll get his little toesy nails here. We'll either make them kind of like a pink, or we'll just make them the bone colors. You know, give them claws more than, you know, like nails. And then we're going to do a little bit of red touch up on these knuckles. Make it to where, you know, it's like it's really the blood flowing through them. We're going to touch up his booty a little bit, and a little bit of the back of his legs, here, his hands. So we still got quite a bit to do on this guy. And not to mention, that's still not even the base. We still got all that base to do too. Oh yeah, we'll touch up this rock underneath his foot. But I'm not too sure what I'm doing for the base yet. That's why we're holding back a little bit from it. But we're getting there. So, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube. And, you know, I really hope that we get to paint together sometime again. So, have a good day.